Okay, buckle up, listeners,
Hmm.
because we are diving deep into the astrological forecast for 2025.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
And yeah, it sounds, well, the universe has some pretty big plans for us.
It does seem that way, yeah.
We are exploring insights from Brazilian astrologer Ana Maciera,
Oh, I like her.
and
What's her take?
she paints this picture of 2025 that's like equal parts exciting
Okay.
and, well, maybe a little bit bumpy.
Yeah, she's known for being insightful.
Yeah.
And having a really interesting forward-thinking approach to astrology.
Yeah, and she doesn't just like,
That's the message.
yeah, she doesn't just like throw predictions out there.
Yeah.
Maciera has this really fascinating idea that that we're not just along for the ride in 2025.
Okay.
We are meant to be learning something. Like
Yeah.
it's a crash course in being comfortable with change and making conscious choices. So
A cosmic crash course. I like that.
yeah, a cosmic crash course.
So how does she see the year actually like panning out?
So she breaks 2025 down
Okay.
into 4 distinct phases, almost like chapters in a book.
Okay.
And the first few months from January to late March are supposed to be relatively calm,
Okay.
but then things really start to shift.
Okay.
So imagine like the relative peace
Yeah.
before a rocket launch, you know?
Oh, wow.
That's the energy that she's describing.
Right, and that actually makes a lot of sense given all the planets that are moving around during that time.
Yeah.
We're looking at some major transits astrologically, and particularly Neptune and Saturn moving into Aries.
Whoa, 2 heavy hitters
Yeah.
in the zodiac.
Hagar.
What's the significance of them both being in Aries at the same time,
So
especially together?
you're right, those are 2 big planetary influences, and to understand their combined impact, you really have to think about each of their energies.
Okay.
Separately first. So Neptune is all about dreams. It's about intuition. It's about seeing beyond just the surface. It can blur boundaries and really heighten our sensitivity.
Okay, so not always clear what's real and what's not.
Exactly.
With Neptune.
Yeah, yeah.
What about Saturn then?
So Saturn, on the other hand, brings structure, discipline,
Okay.
a dose of reality, planet of hard work, commitment,
Right.
sometimes tough lessons.
Yeah.
And now we're imagining these 2 very, very different energies, right?
Yeah.
Coming together in Aries,
Oh.
the first sign of the zodiac.
Aries, the sign of action, new beginnings, impulsiveness a little bit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aries dives into things head first,
Yeah.
full of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
The trailblazes the zodiac.
Oh, wow.
So having both of these planets in Aries suggests a year of dynamic change,
Okay.
new beginnings.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, there's a but.
There's always a but, there's a cosmic caveat here.
Okay.
We need to balance that fiery, impulsive energy with a little bit more, well, with thoughtful planning and a dose more patience.
It's like the universe is like
Yeah,
turning the volume
it is.
up on
I'm
every.
cranking it up
Yeah.
to 11 this year.
Yeah. So how do we make sure that we're using this energy well
Yeah.
and not letting it kind of blow us off course?
That is the million-dollar question.
Right.
And luckily, Maciera offers some guidance.
Okay, good.
But before we get into that,
Yeah.
I think it's really helpful to kind of ground this planetary dance
Okay.
in a little bit of historical context.
Mhm.
This combination of Neptune and Saturn in Aries,
Right.
it's not just some abstract astrological thing.
Okay.
When these planets have linked up in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where it gets really interesting,
Okay. Tell me more.
it's often coincided with major historical turning points.
Okay, like what?
So think back to the late 19th century.
Okay.
That's when we saw the rise of like groundbreaking inventions like the telephone,
Oh.
the automobile.
All right.
It was a time of incredible innovation,
Yeah.
but it was also a time of major social upheaval
Okay.
and big political shifts.
So massive change.
Massive change.
Positive and challenging.
Exactly.
So kind of like what we're expecting in 2025.
Precisely. And that's why understanding these planetary influences is so crucial.
Okay.
It's not necessarily about predicting specific events,
Yeah.
but it's about understanding the overarching themes
Yeah.
and the energies that might be at play.
Okay.
Recognizing that we're all part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
This cosmic dance of planets and possibilities.
I like that.
It's like we're all on our own paths, right?
Yeah.
But the planets shifting are like shifts in the energy field
Right.
that we're all swimming in.
Okay, I like that visualization.
Yeah.
But if things are going to get this intense,
Yeah.
how do we navigate it all? Like,
Right.
is Maciera giving us like practical advice here?
She does. She does.
Okay, good.
And it really all comes back to balance. Like we were talking about how Aries is action-oriented.
Right.
But Saturn wants us to think things through.
Yeah, it did kind of sound like a recipe for disaster if we're not careful.
Exactly. So Masiera talks about this being a time for dream realization.
Okay.
But not in like...
Not just like quit our jobs and...
Right. It's not like...
Fiji.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just this whimsical, ungrounded way.
Okay.
This is an opportunity to take like aligned action toward goals.
Okay.
We can use that fiery Aries energy
Okay.
to launch projects, pursue creative passions,
Okay.
or finally take those steps toward a long-held dream.
So it's our year to shine,
Yes.
but we need a plan.
We need a plan. Saturn's here to remind us
Okay.
structure and strategy are our friends.
Okay.
This isn't about just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
It's about channeling the energy purposefully.
Okay.
So this is where patience comes in.
Oh, patience. That's easier said than done, I feel like.
Right.
Especially with all this like crazy Aries energy.
And she's not saying it's going to be easy.
Okay.
She's saying it's going to be essential.
Right.
We can expect delays, frustrations, things that test our resolve.
Sure.
But if we can cultivate patience,
Okay.
both with ourselves and with how things unfold,
Yeah.
we're going to be much better equipped
Right.
to navigate the challenges
Yeah.
and maximize the opportunities.
I'm taking notes. Patience. Check.
Yeah, yeah.
What else? What else should we be doing?
So Masiera also talks about this being a time for reorganization.
Okay.
So it's like the universe is giving us this cosmic nudge
Okay.
to reevaluate different areas of our lives
Okay.
and make adjustments where needed.
So like a cosmic spring cleaning.
Exactly.
We love it.
Declutter our homes, reassess our relationships,
Okay.
maybe shake things up in our careers.
Right.
It's about looking at the structures in our lives
Yeah.
and saying, are these still serving me?
I love
Are these aligned with who I am becoming
Yes.
and what I want to create?
Like we're hitting the reset button.
Yes.
Anything else we need to be aware of?
One more practical piece of advice.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to seek expert advice.
Okay.
This could be a therapist,
Sure.
a counselor,
Yeah.
a financial advisor,
Yeah.
a mentor,
Right.
even an astrologer
Yeah.
to get a deeper understanding.
Right. Because sometimes we all need a little extra help, right?
Absolutely.
Especially during like big times of change.
Especially during big times of change.
Yeah.
And, it's not a sign of weakness or anything.
Right.
It's a sign of wisdom,
Totally.
recognizing, we don't have to go through this alone.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay. So we've got our marching orders.
we do.
Dream big, plan carefully,
Yes.
be patient,
Yes.
reorganize, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Love it.
That feels kind of empowering, actually.
It is empowering.
Yeah.
And it speaks to Masiera's message,
Mhm.
that 2025 is not something to fear.
Right.
It's an opportunity for
Yeah.
growth and transformation.
So it's like, yeah, there might be some bumps,
Yeah,
but the scenery is going to be pretty amazing.
exactly.
If we can just kind of embrace the ride.
Embrace the ride. And speaking of the ride,
Huh.
Masiera has an interesting perspective
Okay.
on 2025 as a whole.
Yeah.
She actually calls it a transition year,
Okay.
like a dress rehearsal.
A dress rehearsal.
Yeah,
Okay.
for something even bigger
Okay.
in 2026.
Whoa. Okay. Hold on. A dress rehearsal.
Yeah,
Now you've got my attention.
right. Tell me more.
So the planetary shifts we're talking about, especially Neptune and Saturn going into Aries,
Right.
that's just a taste
Okay.
of what's to come.
Okay.
In 2026, those planets settle
Okay.
more permanently
Right.
into those positions.
So if 2025 is the warm-up act,
Yeah.
2026 is the main event, you could say that.
Okay.
Yeah, the energy we're working with now will be amplified.
Wow. Okay, so that's why she's emphasizing making the most of this year.
Yeah.
And like learning the lessons
Yes.
and preparing ourselves.
Yes, think of it this way.
Okay.
2025 is like a cosmic training ground
Okay.
to get familiar with these energies
Yeah.
before they really take center stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like we're getting a sneak peek
Yes.
behind the curtain.
Yes.
So we're ready for the big show.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important question.
Okay. So 2025 is like getting us ready. It's like a boot camp for this big event in 2026.
You could say that.
Okay.
It's a good way to put it.
Intense, but kind of exciting
Yeah.
when you put it that way.
Yeah.
But okay, if these transits are affecting everybody, how do I figure out
Right.
what they mean for me personally?
So this is where it gets really interesting, right? Remember how we were talking about how everybody has this really unique astrological blueprint
Right, their birth chart.
Their birth chart, exactly.
Yeah.
You can kind of think of these global transits as these big brushstrokes on this cosmic canvas.
Yeah.
But your birth chart is all those intricate details
Oh, okay.
that make your experience really unique.
I like that.
Yeah. So
How did those details play in?
knowing where Aries falls in your birth chart
Okay.
can really reveal which areas of your life might be most impacted
Okay.
by this really potent energy.
Okay.
So maybe it's your career, your relationships,
Mm-hmm.
even just your sense of self that's going through this big transformation.
It's like having a personalized astrologer being like, hey, pay attention over here.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like, this is what you need to look at.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, exploring your birth chart can be so insightful,
Yeah.
especially during these big planetary shifts.
Okay.
It helps you understand not just what you're going through,
Right.
but why you might be going through it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's bring it all home for our listener. You know, they've been on this deep dive with us,
Yes.
soaking up all this cosmic wisdom.
Yeah.
What's the one thing we want them to walk away with today?
You know, I think Messier says it best.
Okay.
She leaves us with this really powerful question.
Okay.
If 2025 is like this cosmic test run,
Yeah.
what lessons will you choose to learn?
I love that because it's a reminder we're not just passive bystanders
Exactly.
in our lives or even in this cosmic dance.
Totally.
We have agency.
We have the power to choose how we show up
Yeah.
and how we respond.
So embrace the crash course.
And embrace the crash course.
Right.
You know, embrace those lessons.
Yeah.
Even the tough ones.
Yeah.
Because they're ultimately guiding us toward our highest potential.
I love that. Such a good way to put it. And on that note, we'll leave our listeners to ponder their own cosmic lessons.
It's been so fun exploring this with you.
Always a pleasure. And to our listeners, until next time, keep looking up and remember, the stars are always guiding us, even when we can't see them.